What's good, everybody? It's BBKDRAGOON. Welcome to another round of the Grand Halo Adventure. As Halo 5 draws near, I would like to do some longer discussions today. Frankly, three things that have been on my mind heavily regarding Halo 5. Since it's less than a month away, which is crazy to think about, today we're going to be talking about requisition packs, which I think is probably at the forefront of many of my viewers' thoughts. And I also want to talk about the lack of BtB at Halo 5's launch, and the lack of split screen in Halo 5 altogether. You know, I've really not commented on the latter two ever outside of comments. I've never talked about it in a video, and I think it's high time that we actually discuss it. Additionally, the footage on the screen goes along with our BtB topic today, so it's old. Be gentle with me, senpai, please. So requisition packs, if you've been living under a rock, they are basically card packs like Hearthstone, and when you open them, they have different varying levels of rarity items. And the Req cards in Halo 5 will operate as ways you unlock new armor, new weapon skins, new weapon types, new assassinations, and there's two different kinds. There's the permanent, and then there's the consumable. The consumable ones are only used in Warzone, the new game type, coming in Halo 5. And those consumables could be a vehicle that you want to use, or a certain sniper rifle that you want to use that's like all decked out with sweet skins and does extra damage or whatever. There's a lot of requisition cards, basically, and it's interesting to see because they're very much a hodgepodge of different things from different games. So you've got the Hearthstone card pack mechanic coming into play, where you purchase a rec pack, and then when you open it, you don't know what you're going to get. It's a random chance, and you have X amount of chance to get this many commons, rares, legendaries, whatever. The color coding system of it is identical to that of Destiny's, meaning you have white, common, green, a little bit more rare, blues, which are more rare, and then purples, which are legendary. Yellow being, I think, do they call that mythic? No, they call that legendary in Halo 5 Req card stuff, but in Destiny, it's exotic. So it's the exact same color coding in terms of categorizing rarity of items. At first, I was a little bit like, come on, 343, like, really? But at the same time, now I've thought about it for a little bit, I'm like, okay, I don't have to learn a new color coding scheme. That's cool for me, and a lot of players who are already familiar with the color coding of rarity from Destiny, because inevitably there will be a lot of Destiny players coming over to try Halo 5. And the easier that experience and transition can be, I think, the better. Requisition packs can be bought with Req points. You can earn Req points just playing any of Halo's multiplayer modes. Warzone is the new mode where most of these Req cards are going to be used. The Req cards themselves, you know, not only do they unlock cosmetic things like certain weapon skins, and those are permanent usually, and like certain kinds of assassinations, those are like permanent things. Once you've unlocked it, use the card, you've got it forever. They have consumable ones, and this is where it's a lot like Titanfall's burn card system or whatever. I can't remember. Was that what it's called? Card burn? Yeah, something like that. They had cards that you could use in Titanfall, and you could use 3 in a match, I think, and they would do things like give you a mech from the start of the game, or give you this weapon that has extra speed for its reload or something like that. And it really was, it was cool, but it was very hodgepodgey. Like, and some of the cards were stupid. Like, especially in Capture the Flag, if you used a burn card that gave you a Strider Titan at the very start of the match, you basically got a free flag pull, like, right off the bat. In terms of Halo 5, how they balance those consumable Req cards is going to be critical for Warzone. But I think everybody going into Warzone is going to have this mindset of, it's going to be kind of chaotic, and it's not, it doesn't seem like a game type, obviously, where you're going to measure it by the competitive arena standards. It's supposed to be just a fun game type. PvP versus PvP versus PvE. So you're killing not only the other team, but you're killing a lot of AI enemies in between. Undoubtedly, the make or break point for the Req card system is going to be how difficult it is to earn Req points in multiplayer. So here's the thing. You can buy Req points using real-world money. That's the microtransaction element to this whole system. But you can also earn Req points in-game just by playing Warzone, just by playing Arena. I don't know if you guys have ever played a mobile game that has totally screwed this mechanic by basically making it super grindy to earn items in-game versus just spending real-world money to buy them. But that is the balance 343 has to execute perfectly. If it looks like it's pay-to-win-ish, not pay-to-win-ish, but it's super grindy to actually acquire Req points versus just buying them, it's going to leave a sour taste in your mouth. If anybody played PlanetSide 2, completely free-to-play game, and in order to purchase new items and whatnot, you could earn, you know, currency in-game just by playing it, but it was grindy. Oh my gosh, it was insanely grindy versus just spending some money. in a microtransaction store to purchase that currency right away. That's the make or break point. I don't mind the fact that they're pulling elements from Hearthstone, you know, Titanfall, and Destiny together for this system. In fact, we've already seen, you know, Homebomb put out a Req Card opening video from a convention. I think he was at EGX, maybe. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But we will have requisition pack opening videos, and we'll have that kind of CSGO Hearthstone fusion of we're opening things to get rare items. And I mean, that's popular in a lot of games, a lot of games, so that's not a huge issue for me. In fact, I think that's cool that YouTubers are gonna have, there's gonna be items with prestige and weapon skins. And by the way, when you purchase a Req pack, part of the proceeds go towards supporting the HCS, which is just yeah, that's incredible. Okay, that is awesome. And if anybody knows if they've announced what the percentage will be, as far as I know, they haven't announced what the percentage of the profits from the Req pack purchases will be towards supporting HCS. If you know, let us all find out down below. Just share it with us, please. So in closing, I actually am learning to really like Req packs. The more I see, the more I learn about it. It just depends, though, how grindy is it versus just the microtransaction side of things, and what portion of the profits go towards the HCS. I will gladly buy Req packs to support the HCS in a heartbeat. I would do that. That's a cool idea to support competitive tournament Halo. Just depends on how they balance the whole thing. I'd love to know your opinion, so of course, if you share them down below, I will respond and do my best to read as many as possible. So big team battle, it's not coming with the game at launch. This is interesting because we have Warzone that comes at launch, the new game type, this new game mode, yet BtB has been confirmed not at launch with Halo 5, but coming later, according to Josh Holmes. Here's where I draw issue. Okay, this is where I have a little bit of just hesitancy, all right? Ranks are coming soon. Who remembers that from Halo 4? Okay, and it took how long? The Turbo Patch is coming soon. Who also remembers that from Halo 4? Additionally, MCC, we're working on it. You guys remember that, I'm sure you do. So, I have no room for trust whenever I hear 343 say a feature or something will be arriving shortly after launch. I mean, do you guys even remember the Halo 4 file share, which wasn't available at launch? So, this is one of those things that, again, comes down to how quickly do you integrate it into the game. Warzone's going to be there at launch. It's the new game type. I'm looking forward to it. In fact, you'll see a video here on the channel where I feature some other large Halo community members and YouTubers who've gone to play Warzone at events. I haven't had the chance to actually try it going to any of the events like E3 or Gamescom, so I'm going to bring people on who have experience with the game mode and can give us some more direct feedback. Additionally, during Halo 5, I can't announce any of my new series right yet, but I will be working with other Halo YouTubers in the scene, some larger people, to bring hopefully what I think is maybe a reignitement of sort of a Halo video making community, and maybe we can start some sort of momentum to get, you know, Halo YouTube pushing again, I guess. I don't know. I can't share much of it right now. Having Warzone at launch over BtB is a bit of a risk because BtB, it's your guaranteed, you know, success. A lot of people really gravitate towards that playlist. I think for myself, I'm obviously more a 4v4 player. But at the end of Halo Reach, competitive BtB made up a huge amount of that game's long-term endgame community. And to not have BtB at launch is a risk. I mean, obviously, those players will probably resort to custom games, and I do have faith that 343 will bring BtB to the game at some point. It just depends when. So the real gamble is, will Warzone win out over Big Team Battle? Especially when you think about the initial first week reviews, which will undoubtedly bring up the fact that BtB is missing from the game at launch. You know what I think is going to happen? Since we're getting all of the maps for free with Halo 5, I think they're going to have a BtB map pack release sometime within the first 3 or 4 months of the game being out. And when those BtB maps release is the same time they're going to release the BtB mode. So they plan it like this big event, and you get a lot of people in BtB all at once. That gives people a month or two to earn, you know, their Req cards, earn their Req points, and practice around with the new Warzone game type. Overall, I don't think it's a huge deal, but again, we really just have to see how reviewers feel about it, because I think, you know, reviewers play a big role in how many people hop on board and stay on board. More influence than they probably should have. Speaking of that, no split screen in Halo 5. I've never publicly talked about it in a video. I've commented down in the comment sections about it and replied about it, but for me, I haven't done split screen Halo in about 2.5, 3 years. But growing up, it was a staple, and it is a core feature about Halo. But you have to balance the two sides of the coin. us having 60 FPS and the visual fidelity that we do in Halo 5 is one of those technical limitations where we can't have split screen. I guarantee you 343, if they could from a technical standpoint have split screen, guarantee you they would. They wouldn't remove a feature like that if they didn't think it was worth it. To me, 60 FPS and a very stable working playfield is more important. If they did split screen, they'd obviously have to cut the frame rate down to 30, and I don't know how that would actually affect the netcode of the game, because there is... I can't get into the specifics of it because I'm not an expert on the netcode of the game. And maybe somebody who knows a whole lot more than me could say, no, it'd be very simple for them to put split screen in the game. But for me, it's not a deal breaker. I know for some it is. I hope it doesn't take precedence in terms of press leading up to Halo 5 and that it's not one of those negative factors that is overly featured in reviews. But it may be. And that, I guess it's a different era of gaming. We're moving into a different play space where split screen is now two dudes at two different places, or two people, I should say, at two different places around the world talking through Xbox Live and the communicator. Couch co-op still exists, but it just looks like that's not the direction Halo will be going on the Xbox One in the future. So, anyway, I want to thank you all for listening to me, and I hope you enjoyed this grand Halo adventure. Without giving too much away, I've started pre-production on some new Halo video series. Those series will be involving other YouTubers within this community. I have a very clear goal in Halo 5 that I would like to work with other Halo YouTubers to try and grow this scene further. I think if we operate as individuals, as solo people, and don't work together, that we may see stagnation and not the potential that this community could achieve. And you never know, Halo 5 could be a complete revival of Halo videos on YouTube, and if I can, work towards that or do anything to push that forward, then I would like to be there. All right, Spartans, I'll see you next time, and HAYYYYYABUSA!